Topic. Let's talk about it.
Sycamore.
Good afternoon, one. Good afternoon, all, wherever you are, whatever you're doing at this time. I want to welcome you. This is your Hot Topics, your Tell It Like It Is show. Sammy, what's up?
I'm very good. And today is
Friday.
Hey!
Chalet Friday.
Chalet Friday, which is amazing. But today,
Yes.
I just want to let you know, Vanessa, and in this spirit of Miss Vado, that the weekend officially starts today. Actually, this afternoon, and not on Thursday.
Baby, my weekend
So
started
I just
yesterday.
wanted
I don't know
to-
what's up with you and Miss Vado, but my weekend starts on a Thursday. I mean, to each his own. Give me that.
I need to clarify that.
Give me
with
that.
you.
My
I need
weekend,
to-
I don't know. We follow a
Okay.
different, we have a different Sabbath.
Yeah, you have to tell you, don't try and change the weekend. We told you like put change bagay.
Maka change. Oh, yeah. Maka pay
afternoon.
somewhere.
Good afternoon to you, Miss Vado. And I want to say good afternoon to this lady, Miss Anita in Newton. I had to say good afternoon to her a little while back, but I forgot. But Miss Anita in Newton, you've been on my mind, even though it's after the show, it hits me. But good afternoon to you. Hope you're having an amazing day.
Okay.
And yesterday was the birthday of Eflin Emmanuel of Newton, right there by the Savannah Ken's Juices. Yes. Good afternoon to you, Eflin, and happy birthday to you. Hope you have an amazing day.
All right, awesome. So, folks, again, you know, we want to thank you for joining us. We are happy to have you on with us this afternoon. It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. But you know what we have to do right now at 7 minutes past 2 is take a pause for cause.
All right.
Big up to our sponsors, TDC Insurance, Digicel, and Astafens. We coming back just now. Stay tuned. Keep it locked. This is your Kyrie FM, your genuine sound, your Tell It Like It Is show on a Friday afternoon.
Attention! We're a go for rocket launch.
Roger.
Engines ready.
Jay ready.
Liftoff in 3, 2, 1.
Kids, breakfast is ready.
Ooh. Launch postponed.
Give yourself a strong start to the day with Dutch Lady. Milk with essential nutrients, calcium, vitamins, and protein. Dutch Lady. Building strong families since 1871.
Hey girl, new car?
No, that's the same one.
What? We had our accident 2 days apart.
Well, I'm insured with TDC Insurance Company, and you're with the other ones.
I need to switch. Tell me how, right now.
It's simple. TDC Insurance is located upstairs HHV Widget and Company Limited on Old Street in Roseau, and you can call 255-1100. TDC Insurance Company, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
With Digicel Prime bundles, you get more than just data. You level up to a whole new digital life. Level up with deep music for your favorite local and international tracks. Level up with Sportsmax and catch the top live sports action. Level up with Go Loud for radio stations and trending podcasts from Dominica. And level up with Playgo for the latest movies, TV series, and local shows. Enjoy a 7-day Prime bundle at only $32 with 49 gigabytes of dedicated data for premium access to your favorite app without touching your any use data. That's a total of 59 gigabytes. Activate a Prime bundle in the My Digicel app. Digicel, better together.
What you eating there?
Ham and cheese now.
What? You go for lunch by Sammy's without me? Oh, you can't do me that.
Relax now, I set you up. I got your meatball sub, a roti, pies, tat, cakes, chicken salad, codfish sub, chicken and chips, and a smoothie.
Woo! Goody! Brian, Tom, Dave, come! Lunch from Sammy's on our co-worker.
Co-worker? Sammy's Boutique and Cafe, located at 39 King George V Street. Call us at 613-5908.
Gagnez pour tous les jours dans Digicel Bip pour l'amour promotion. Download app Bip PIP. Suive canal Bip pour l'amour Dominique. Et puis pour pas dans toutes ces activités tous les jours et gagner. Ça c'est pas tout. Avec Digicel Prime Time Bundle. Et je message sans limite sur Bip. Et plus temps parler sur vidéo. Attention tout le monde à nous commencer vivre. C'est Bip et c'est notre cas Bip.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Friday, folks. Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Well, today is a little heavy day for some people because today the body of Christopher Later will be laid to rest. So we just we at Kyrie just want to reach out to the parents Sonia and Christoph and the stepdad Larry and the siblings and so on. It's not easy today, but we just want you all to know that we are with you in heart and mind. Yeah,
it's a saddening experience. I really wanted to be at the funeral, but I could not.
I'll be there this afternoon.
Cannot. I'll go see Sonia after, but for me funerals are hard, so I tend not to. But Sonia, we love you, and you know that we are all there for you. All right. This has nothing to do with party politics or anything, because people are going to misconstrue the fact. Sonia, we love you. We are your friends from long time. I'm going to say one thing, Sonia. I know you're not hearing right now. I'm going to say, I'm not saying it. Bye. But anyways, we love you and we're there for you.
You'll hold one for her.
No. I was going to mention a name. No. But when I said the name, it would have sounded sexual, but that was the person's name. But let's go.
We have any more birthdays today?
We have a few birthdays, and I have quite a few birthdays today, Sammy. But we don't want to stay too long on the birthdays, So I just want to shout out my girl, Mindy Deluge. Happy birthday to you, my niece, my darling, and cousin Alvin Bruno. Happy birthday, not the brother, the cousin. All right, and then I want to say hi to my folks at the police headquarters. Made my thing there a little happy. Melroy Jeremy, good afternoon to you, officer, the fire officers, the folks at the police bar, Miniel, and the ladies around the counter. Good afternoon to you. All right, I finish with my shout out, Sammy.
Well, I had a birthday list this morning, and I cannot find it now.
It went to oblivion.
So because I've done so many things from then to now, happy birthday to all those celebrating their birthday.
Hallelujah, today. Praise the Lord. And what we're going to do right now is just switch our cameras a little bit to there and do this. Because I know people wondering, but why are we not seeing all you know? And I'm sure there are a few comments. So, folks, we have a guest in studio today. And we want to introduce the topic and then introduce the guest. Sammy, you want to introduce the topic?
Yes.
Yes, yes, you do.
Well, you can list the topic, and I will introduce it.
So I just mentioned the topic. Can you give the rundown?
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, we can work like that. So, topic: why are small businesses failing during COVID? Why are small businesses failing during COVID? Why, Sammy?
Well, folks, today we have an expert on business. Everybody know what's going on. We know the environment now. We know these are unprecedented times, and surviving it is going to take a miracle. So today we're going to explore the factors that cause failure, how to identify them, and possibly how to get out of that rut and be on the path to success.
All right. So without further ado, we introduce our guest, Don Bacasio. Don, how are you? Neighbor, I should say.
How are you, Vanessa?
I'm awesome.
Yes.
Mula, we sakotuna ubia.
Yeah, man.
All right. So, Don, let's get you introduced. Don, who are you? Don Bacasio, coolie hair man. You're not a Carib. You're not a Kalinago.
Who tell you that?
I know that.
That's a Dominican. What are you trying?
However, you're not a Dominican, but you've made yourself a Dominican. Tell us just a little bit about you, the short story version.
Well, I've been living here for a number of years.
A number of years, as in how many years?
Around, I think, five or 6 years.
Okay, all right.
I only have one passport now, which is a Dominican passport.
All right.
So, so I came here with my entire family,
Mm-hmm.
and then just experienced Erica, Maria, you know.
Okay.
That's why I would always say that I was reborn twice here. You know, I had two mothers. One is Erica, and the other is Maria.
Wait, Papa,
yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I remember the situation
after Maria. I saw him and his father-in-law getting the groceries and treading through the debris.
Don is my neighbor, right? So I look in my backyard and like wave to the door and say, "Hey."
Are you still okay? Are you still alive?
Yes.
So Don, what qualifies you to speak on this topic today?
Actually, thank you very much for that question, because I'm thinking that a lot of people are probably wondering, you know. So
yes.
So, but just to give you a little bit of like a background of myself, you know, currently I am connected with the National Development Foundation of Dominica as their business and entrepreneurial development manager.
Impressive.
Quite a long title.
Yes.
It's a new title, and because of that, I want to greet my, my big boss, our executive director, and of course the entire management and staff, and of course the entire board, whom I believe some of them are listening now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Also, I am the founder and chief Imaginer of Madhouse Group.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, and so I have over 20 years of experience in business development, planning and analysis, marketing and sales, and brand building or strategic brand management.
Okay.
So academically, I acquired postgraduate studies in business analytics from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
I
Amazing.
did also
Impressive.
postgraduate studies in financial analysis from the University of Melbourne.
Oh, smart guy.
Strategic brand management from the Asian Institute of Management.
Okay.
And interaction management from the Development Dimensions International, based in the States. I think they're in Utah.
Okay.
I also have a master's in marketing, specializing in global marketing.
Okay.
And I have a bachelor's degree in media studies, major in development communication, and an associate degree equivalent in commerce, major in accountancy.
Okay.
So
you're pretty much well qualified to speak on this topic.
Well
today.
qualified? Let me tell you, my little paper not nothing compared to that. Let me go back to the drawing board. Oh my God, you're quite the overachiever.
Well, I think it's that's why I would always say that I would never call myself like an expert, because I always have that that desire to learn more. And I have that idea that, I'm always inadequate. That's why I would say that, although some people would call me business analyst, business management mentor, or chief imagineer, or some kind of creative director.
And you always find those creative names.
Yes. I'd like to call myself as a keen student of the game, which is the business game.
Right.
So it's like I like observing, I like talking to people, business people, especially our small business entrepreneurs, learning from them at the same time, being able to probably teach them one thing or two about business. So so
Yeah, I'd say you're well qualified. What do you say, Vanessa?
I said he's very well qualified.
What is Facebook saying about his qualifications?
They said speak closer to the microphone.
I haven't. No. You're good right there. You're good right there. It was just something on the board, but we all saw it now. So I'm done. Now you have all of these qualifications. What has your experience been in Dominica in terms of making use of those qualifications? Before we go into the whole COVID story, prior COVID, what was your experience like in terms of, maybe displaying your skills or actually using your skills, your knowledge, your expertise?
Well, initially, there were some kind of hesitance, or there was some kind of hesitance. But I think it's just normal. I was a new guy, new face, and then probably a lot of those were wondering, who is this guy?
Yeah.
But I think I was able to really build good relationships with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And slowly and surely, I think I was able to build up my credibility and my, my track record, so to speak. But of course, anywhere you go, especially for a new place, you would always experience some kind of pushback, so to speak. But it's just up to you if you're gonna give up at that point.
So let me break you there. Let me stop you there. How was that for you? I know you experienced pushbacks.
It was. It's like it's a little bit shocking, but at the same time, it's like an eye opener.
Okay.
So it's like an eye opener because it's like as I said earlier, I would always try to learn from any experience, whether it's good or bad.
Okay.
So I try to improve myself. For example, if I'm trying to explain myself to say an entrepreneur, and then the entrepreneur ended up not really appreciating what I said, I would go back to myself and ask myself, okay, what did I say? What did I say wrong? How could I explain it better to him?
Right.
So it's always coming back to me and improving it. So right now I think one very good important thing that I learned is that relationship is very, very important.
Indeed.
Like people need to really know you and be able to trust you first.
Yes.
So the knowledge, the academic background will just follow if people, for example, have heard of you already or have seen you.
Okay.
Or so it's something I call the speed of trust. If people trust you, it actually can facilitate
it's
things.
Gonna work. It's gonna happen.
But generally, those people that I've spoken to were very open to ideas. A lot of them are also very knowledgeable about entrepreneurship and all the areas that I'm in. So it's like it's a learning process as well, and at the same time, it's like a relearning, unlearning process.
Gotcha.
And every time I get to kind of teach them or share with them something that they would tell me, that's very insightful. That's something that I've never heard before. So I would feel really really good about that.
Amazing.
So
I'm listening to you speak about how you never stop learning, and you learn from everybody, everywhere you go, in order that you're able to teach them.
Yes.
So I'm assuming your whole environment at home is set up for that. We didn't mention it before, but your son, Top, it's part of the Common Entrance Top 5. You're so inoculated into the environment and to the country that your son builds the Common Entrance. So I just want to say congratulations to him and give you the opportunity to do the same.
Thank you. So I just want to say hi to my son. His name is Yoreb William Berkasio. Yeah, he actually placed 4th in the last national exams for incoming secondary students.
Yes. All right.
So yeah, so congratulations, my son, and you know, I always forever, love you and support you, all of us in the family. So I also would like to say hi to everyone listening to Dr. Ricardo Odemar's clinic.
Yeah.
I think everybody's listening right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's learning is very important. In fact, maybe later when we try to discuss about what small business owners could do to survive the pandemic, there's one word, there's one key word that I want to throw in out there, and that is learnability.
Right. And then we're going to come right back to that after this break. All right, folks, we'll be back after a few messages. Give it locked. This is your Hot Topics.
Want to make a statement without saying a word? Why not let your tiles say it all? Enhance your home or business with the tiles that suit you. From J. Estefans Home and Building. Choose from a wide variety of designs and colors. Make your favorite place come alive with durable tiles for any purpose. The best on island. Superior, affordable tiles are only at J. Estefans Home and Building. Located in Fort Coley. J. Estefans. Right place, right price.
Tell me, are you ready?
Hey, what are you doing?
You don't hear what that going on every Saturday on Kyrie then?
Kyrie? What is that on that?
Boy, a new talk show them man have going.
True no boy. What that's about?
Yeah boy, them man gonna talk about topics that we interested in and thing. The show is called Chat Room, so you know it's Yeki Vibes.
WhatsApp group chat vibes, man. I go make the turn.
I telling you, Saturdays from 4 to 5 on Kyrie FM is Jerry Cinema.
Speedy recovery.
What you holding my car just going to Valley?
Where are you?
Poker said.
Hang on, ma'am. We're on the way.
At Speedy Recovery, we provide 24-hour towing and recovery, container haulage and lifting, crane truck rental, and dump truck services. We are professionals in the business with over 20 years experience, emerging from the towing specialists themselves, Walsh Trucking. Call today on 767-285-A-TOW, that's 285-2869, or 277-4290, or 316-7077. Send an email, speedyrecoverytrucking@gmail.com, like us on Facebook, or visit us at River Estate at the Walsh Trucking Yard. We are Speedy Recovery, your full-service trucking company. Call 285-A-TOW.
Are you looking for good eggs? I mean quality eggs fresh from the farm? Well, we have exactly what you're looking for. No matter the quantity, we have the right amount. Call us today for your fresh farm eggs. Telephone 448-7331, 448-7330, 448-8752 or 614-6767. And we'll get you your fresh farm eggs.
So amazing. I'm not exaggerating.
I begin you live a preview Dominican lifestyle for man, woman and child. I begin you live a preview.
La Dominique gen tendance nan sa ki gen awe ak danger naturel, tankou, volcan, tremblement de terre, cyclone, inondasyon ak glissement terrain. Nou tout dwe apprendre vivre ak danger sa yo. Faire préparation yon parti nan la vie ou chaque jour. Sonje bien, fè yon plan urgence, paquet tous urgence ou et puis rete informé. Travail comme volontaire à comité des assois. Contactez le bureau gestion des as pour toute information sur préparation urgence ou bien relais dans 448 77 77 611 44 12. Ou soit visitez site internet là dans www.odm.gov.dm. Préparez-vous, faites attention. Yon message qui sorti dans bureau gestion des as puis SAID à OIM de côté pour.
And at 2:28 p.m., we are back with you. If you just joined, welcome aboard. This is your Tell It Like It Is show, Hot Topics. And today, we are talking with Don Berkasio, and the topic is, why are small businesses failing during COVID?
Okay, as a small business person, let's discuss the environment and the feelings. Things are slow. Things are not selling. We're not seeing much people in town like before. Some days, the town almost ghostly. That is affecting sales, which is affecting income. Not enough money to go around to pay everything all at once, as maybe it would have been before. So that's the environment we have now. What is your take on that?
No, I totally agree with you. I think one thing that we have to recognize is that this pandemic is unprecedented.
Yes, it is.
Right? So I actually, and I hope you guys don't mind, I actually took some notes because I feel this is very important. I don't really want to miss important things. I feel like we really we need to discuss this, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of share some insights to our small business owners out there who are probably looking for some kind of knowledge,
which is the
wisdom.
objective, pretty much, that we can get some information out to
I
them.
agree.
Yes.
So number one, we have to recognize that this pandemic is unprecedented. Me myself, I cannot remember anything like this, in my entire experience. And if you look at the history, there's probably like just four global pandemics in the past. So this is the fifth, if I'm not mistaken, based on my research.
You're correct.
Yes. So right now, this COVID-19 pandemic, it has broad impact, affecting not just the small business community, but society, everybody.
It has had a global impact.
Global impact,
Yes.
and
and across the board, global.
across the board, there's some kind of domino effect in every industry.
Yes.
So this is definitely a very difficult environment. And remember that a lot of our small business owners or entrepreneurs, a lot of them are already struggling to compete, to make a profit,
right?
To build up their customer base. So even prior to the pandemic, a lot of our small business owners are already having some problems. So what this pandemic has done is just to exacerbate the entire situation.
That is true.
So number one that I think I would like to tell our entrepreneurs, number one, they should not feel bad. They should
Because
not.
it's not unique to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
They should not feel bad. But also, they should not just,
accept
it, stay in one corner and cry.
Right.
Right? So, that's number one that I'd like to share. This is unprecedented. This is global. And they should not feel bad about this. So, hope is not lost. And as they say, as long as we are still alive, there's still hope.
Yes.
So I guess that's number one thing that we have to remember and to accept.
Right. True. Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, yes, it is that you may have lost clients or your business has been so slow that you don't know if you're coming or going. But then you have to look at innovative approaches. This is what I'm offering to the public. But this is what the situation is right now. How do I go beyond that?
You said something a little while ago. You spoke about competition. And since COVID, before COVID, there's always been competition. Before COVID, there's always been competition. The environment has always been a bit unfair. You have bigger companies competing with the smaller companies and getting into services and goods that small companies have their niche, and now you have the bigger companies getting into those niches. But now, past COVID, fast track to this particular our present environment, we have a lot of people out of work, and the easiest thing to do is, if you're out of work, is to find a small business that you can, with an easy startup, like little capital needed to start up. So the businesses that are already there, like restaurants. Restaurant is the easiest thing to come to get into. Like food and service, beverage industry, bars and stuff like that is the easiest thing to get to because the startup is so minimal. So you have a lot of people who are out of work adding to the competition. So small business, you have your small business, which had the larger companies competing with them, and now you have other smaller
micro
competing with us. It's killing us and killing the industry.
I agree, but it's something that we cannot really avoid. It's the dynamics of a free market system.
Yes.
So competition is open. If you have a business idea, sometimes some of these business ideas don't need much capital,
right.
So you can start right away. However, I just would like to point out, Sam and Vanessa, that if you look at, for example, if you do your research, not all businesses actually had a hard time or are having a hard time during the pandemic.
Exactly.
In fact, there actually are industries that have grown.
They've thrived.
Grown.
Yep.
They're thriving.
And when we look at those,
and some of them have actually grown exponentially.
Yes.
And
indeed.
it's because directly it's connected to the impact of the pandemic.
Especially with regards to the service they may have provided or the products that they provide.
Sanitation is one area.
Yes, sanitation. You have delivery services.
Yes.
You have grocery stores.
Yes, indeed.
I remember because especially during the early part
lockdown.
of the lockdown, people
Yes.
were so anxious.
Yes.
So what they did, they stock up with their groceries and things.
Arbitrarily so too.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened was you found people wanting to come to the supermarkets, but because of their proximity to those supermarkets, they were unable to, get down because the public transportation was not, very, 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 very popular at the time. It wasn't very available.
Well, some people parked their buses because they were unwilling to just carry a limited amount of passengers.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it was not readily available
to everybody.
You had some taxi services who weren't even stopped. Even the gypsy taxi services had stopped. And then you had those businesses now who were innovative enough, who were creative thinking enough, or creative minded enough to say, well, okay, get online, order your groceries, pay by whatever service you had that was online, that you could pay online, and pick up. Or pay a delivery fee. Mm-hmm. And then some of the taxis and some of the other service providers jumped on the wagon and said, okay, let's pick up your groceries. Order your groceries, let's pick up your groceries and deliver it to you.
Exactly.
So where you had 5 doing it, all of a sudden you have 50 doing
Yes. But it's still, everybody still benefited, because there were so many people wanting the service. Not just wanting, they're needing the service, that everybody got a little bit of the pie.
A little bit of the pie, but you don't want a little bit of the pie when you invest in your vehicle and your scooters and your motorbikes.
When you get to that point,
you want to be able to pay your workers and to pay yourself.
But when you get to that point, and you realize that this is where the money's coming from, this is what I'm into, I'm gonna make it work.
True.
And then you had the survival of the fittest.
Exactly, and that's basically a reality in the business world, so to speak. If you see an opportunity, if you are entrepreneurial minded enough, you would jump into it. Yeah. However, one key skill that entrepreneurs should learn is the ability to look for those what I call white spaces.
Uh-huh.
White spaces or empty spaces where not a lot of people are going into.
Right.
You mentioned about sanitation services. I know a lot of people don't really want to do that. You go into that clean.
They would say, why would I want to come clean your toilets? But imagine how much money I can make cleaning toilets when nobody else is doing it.
But during COVID, it became a different thing. It wasn't about cleaning toilets. It's about things like industrial cleaning, where you come in and you sanitize a whole building. So there was some prestige, applied to sanitization.
So it's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade, definitely.
Yes.
And then you had people producing, because I know one company that was born out of that, and they produce hand sanitizers. Several of them started producing hand sanitizers, importing in bulk and redistributing.
Right.
Some were fixing the dispensers, to different companies and stuff like that. So a lot of white space was created, and people jumped at the opportunity.
Jump into it. There are so many other industries that I feel, actually found opportunities or second lease of life because of the pandemic. You could mention there, for example, health industry. Even because a lot of people are suddenly very concerned about their health.
Yes.
I remember at the start of the pandemic, like I would look around and I wouldn't find vitamin C and all of these vitamins.
Right.
They would run out. So those industries and many other industries have actually thrived. So it reminds me of something, something I learned from the business school, that crisis, as they say, we're in crisis, right? They say crisis in Chinese, comprised of two words. One is danger, and the other word is opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why if you look at, for example, I've worked with a lot of Chinese. By the way, I'm not Chinese.
Okay,
So
you're
Korean, right?
Do you speak?
May kapalit sing Creole, so not Chinese, but a little bit of Creole.
Are you Korean?
No.
Where are you from?
Well, originally from the Philippines.
Philippines,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I supposedly have cousins in the Philippines, the Brunos.
Actually, there are a lot of Brunos.
Yes.
Over
And
there.
Originally migrated from Italy.
It's not impossible.
Let's not get into that.
Yes.
I'm in contact with a few of them, but let's not get
there
into
you go.
that. Bam. All right.
You can go wrong. 7,000 islands.
Yes.
Anyway,
true.
but I'm happy I'm
so
here.
back to this.
I'm happy I'm
Indeed.
here.
And we're happy to have you.
In the nature island of the Caribbean.
Yes.
And
very happy.
And potentially the world.
The world, yes. I agree.
Okay,
Yes.
So
we were talking about competition, and you were talking about white spaces. I saw a model of a community. Well, I call it a model of a community, Vanessa, because I was very impressed. In Calibishi, there are a lot of small business. Recently, they have had an explosion of small businesses, and what I realize is they don't duplicate each other. So if there's a
they complement.
Right, there's a barber, there's somebody who do braids, there's somebody who weaves and wigs and things of that nature, somebody doing nails, somebody doing there's people doing every different things. You don't see a flyer where one person provides a whole set of services that they cannot do well.
Get you.
Right now everybody eating a bread.
You know what I call that? I call that co-opetition.
Oh, I love that.
So competition, working together.
Yeah.
And
cooperative competition.
And you have to look at each other, because remember, since this is an unprecedented, crisis.
Yeah.
We cannot do normal things like normal maneuvers.
Right.
To protect our businesses. Exactly. What we also need are unprecedented movement, so to speak. So one of which is
unprecedented, innovative.
Ideas. Thank you very much. So one of which is there a way for example, for me to work with my competition, quote unquote, next door?
Exactly, there is.
So it's something that an entrepreneurs could also explore.
That is something that can be explored, Donald. But that's not the. That community is special. Because that is not the qualities of Dominicans in business. A Dominican in business will set up a business and they will come next door to you. Their original business idea was not what you were selling, but they'll come next door to you. And they will hang on to their original business idea, and they will still sell everything that you're selling. In other words, they will make their money, but they will still try to cut your sale. When Dominicans enter business, they don't think about how I can complement the economy, how I can complement the next person. A lot of people come into business to see how they can put out some people from business. That is how I see it.
That is the long and short of it. Folks, we're going to open the lines right now. We want to share your views, hear your comments on this. We have a call on the line already. Jeez, I didn't even say the number, Sammy. Good afternoon. Hot Topics, your line.
Hi, good afternoon. Beautiful topic. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, darling.
Ladies, Sammy, you're so right. You hit me right on the head with the last comment you made.
Which one?
Now, I'm going to make another comment, and I'm saying that is why the increasing the minimum wage was justified. Because let me tell you, from the beginning of COVID, a lot of the private businesses especially, they made money out of us. And the minimum, and they're crying, not saying that things are hard, things are not hard to them. Let me tell you, at the end, let's just say this weekend we have a tropical depression, not even a tropical storm, a depression. You're going to see the supermarkets
empty. Millions of dollars made in one weekend.
I hate when people of businesses, I'm going to say it, Lord, for the businesses.
Say it, my darling.
When you're making money, stop crying on your business and say you're not making money. You understand me? And the employee you have that have to work for you during this storm and cannot go home, don't feel right that you cannot give them a little extra and say you're not making money on the minimum wage. Say the minimum wage as it is right now, and it is justifiable, the increase. Thank you.
Okay, my
all right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Very valid
and very intelligent.
Yes,
and real foods,
yes, indeed, indeed. All right, so
because remember, because of the pandemic, a lot of people were asked to leave, or were asked to
stay home.
To stay home, you know,
because we no longer require your services for this period, and they specified a period because of the ongoing pandemic. And should things improve, then we will call you back.
So that in itself had this domino effect to a lot of things, because remember, decreased income.
Yes.
You know, normally would lead to lowered sales.
Yes. Let me pause you, Don, and let's go back to the telephone. Good afternoon, Hot Topics. You're live. Good afternoon.
How are you all doing today?
Yes, we're doing awesome.
How are you?
It's a good. I'm doing well. Very hot. It's a wonderful program. Hot Topics. I heard one of you all said earlier on. People get into business just to spite the other person, just to get them out of business. And
it happens. Yes.
It is true, and I love all you real. Yeah, the other shows must look at all you pure, all you real.
But Bibs, give us your contribution. We love the kudos, but give us your contribution today. We want to keep it to the point.
Well, my contribution, to be honest with you, a lot of people opening business, and when you think it's business, those businesses just a front. There is more happening in that business than what we might think happening. I'm being honest with you. That's my contribution.
Okay.
You understand me?
All right.
I love you guys, and good show, and keep it real. Have a blessed weekend, okay?
Thank you, babes. Awesome weekend to you as well. Bye-bye, my darling.
I'm glad for him.
All right.
People getting into business with much more. You think you're putting us in trouble? We don't have lawyer money. We cannot afford. You think you're letting us say people getting into business to as a front? You're not making us say that at all.
Stop, Sammy. Stop before you say too much. Stop. Yeah, but now, Don, we spoke about all the reasons why, how you could build a proper business. We spoke about all the pros. Let's talk about the cons. Is it because of insufficient training or planning? Because when you get into business for a profit, yes? And when you get in business for a profit, you look at all your pros and cons before you get in. Ergo, the business plan. Minus the business plan, you are just jumping around in circles.
I agree. That's the reason why I said earlier that even before the pandemic, a lot of our small business are already vulnerable. In fact, there are numerous studies that says that, a big percentage of startups fail in their first year.
Yeah.
And a much bigger percentage fail, in the next 5 years. Yeah. But then if you really look into, the data, it could actually because of a few things. So you mentioned that lack of proper planning. So it's something that one entrepreneur should really do before even entering into any kind of business endeavor or activity. Right. Of course, not fully understanding the market or the consumers.
There we go.
That's another reason.
Yes.
And you mentioned it earlier, I think it's all about lack of differentiation.
Yes.
So if you are competing, for example, in a very what you call it, a cramped market, oversaturated, you must find a way to differentiate yourself from the rest of them. So personally, I don't really mind, like, for example, if everybody's doing restaurant, and if based on your study, restaurant or food business is something that's growing, then go for it.
Right.
But then you have to find a way to differentiate yourself.
Exactly,
you have to find a way to build a brand that's compelling enough, and a brand that could sustain. Remember, when a person go into a business, we always think, initially of profits.
Right.
Right? We think of profits. Like, okay, how much profit would I be? That's okay.
How do you even garner the profits?
Exactly. As they say, you cannot even talk about the bottom line if there's no top line.
Thank you very much.
And the top line is actually the demand.
Right.
So first thing, identify if there's a demand.
Yes. Know your demographics.
So these are the things: proper planning, and and this is not just during the pandemic, but during ordinary times. It's really sometimes it's mismanagement of your finances.
Yes.
Yeah.
And overall mismanagement of the business. That's it. These are the reasons why a lot of small businesses fail, and then the tendency of, for example, an entrepreneur to do everything.
Yes.
That's one of I
So
think reason as well.
The chef, cook, and bottle washer. It's called, yes.
So as you spoke of the why small businesses fail, I think from what I've seen here, overcommitments. Because people start off in business with all those fancy ideas. I've been in business for a long time, so I know it's not a glamour thing. It's not glamorous at all. It's a struggle. There'll be the glory days, but you'll have more struggling days than glory days.
Initially.
All the time.
No,
because
initially.
because you see business in Dominica, it's not consistently good. Business in Dominica we roll by seasons, and it goes up, down. So you'll have a lot of those down days. But you'll have some fabulous up days that will make you believe to yourself that it's worth it.
Exactly.
I think on the from the inception of business, people put too much expenses on their business. Everything is a loan, a hire purchase, a this, a that. I started my business with cash that I had saved up, and I used it to start my business. So when I started, the only thing I had to pay was my little rent and my electricity.
Okay.
That's how I started. More than 15 years ago.
Okay.
So for one, there. Two, as they go along, they start up in debt. They keep on paying debt, paying a loan to start off a business, paying all those little debts and taking more and more and more to cover debt.
Okay.
So you find yourself overwhelmed. You can't find a way, you can't see your way. I tell you right now, I have zero business debt whatsoever.
However, Sam, I mean, I agree with you, but having a loan is not entirely bad.
No, it's not bad. No,
because remember,
it's not bad.
You build your credit.
One of the reasons why a lot of
have credit to build. Dominica don't have credit rating.
No, you can. No, don't worry, you can.
So a lot of one of the reasons as well why a lot of businesses fail is because they're undercapitalized.
Right.
So meaning you don't have enough
operating
capital to really run your business efficiently. And if you don't have that, you are not able to really serve the market or build that necessary differentiation. Remember, you build that necessary differentiation by primarily doing marketing and basically your customer service when they reach your place already, because it's no use promoting yourself out there, say something that has fabulous customer service, and then when they reach your store, they experiencing the same thing.
Exactly.
So that's exactly, it's how your brand is built. So
okay, before you go on to the second part of your response, you spoke about operating capital. But to me, operating capital should come from your cash flow, not from a loan. Because anytime you have a startup loan and you have to use loans as operating capital, then that business
you can
use loans as your startup capital or as your operating capital, and depending on how successful or depending on how you drive your business, especially people tend to downplay marketing. And people tend to say that it's unnecessary.
Marketing
but
can never be unnecessary. Marketing is important. That's
to push your business, to propel your business.
You must let people know that you're out there.
And in fact,
so, okay, I don't understand. What do you understand? Because what do you understand from operating capital? Because I cannot see myself using a loan to pay the expenses of my business. No, that will dive me down into poverty. That will plunge my business.
Not necessarily.
Never. Well, that's for me. I will never do that. If you have to me, and that's an opinion. Maybe you have a different fact, but that's an opinion from me. If I have to use a loan to pay for things like basic restock, to pay rent, to pay electricity and pay workers, I'm doing my business a severe disadvantage, and I would close down.
Okay.
I would.
The important thing is that if you, for example, that's why if you look at your financial statements, for example, you will be able to see there if you have so much debts compared to, say, for example, the sales that your business is generating. That's number one. So, for example, I don't disagree with you. You can definitely start your business with cash, and then start small and.
Right. And then when you want to build up, you can seek a loan.
I agree. But then again, remember, there's also a school of thought that says that, you should never use your own money when building up your business, because there are available.
You use your money. You use your own money as a backup.
A backup.
As a backup plan. So
something like that. So that's why there's really so much importance that I want to put in on. Really keeping your records and then studying your financial statement. For example, if you look at your financial statement and you say that, okay, I have debts, yes, but then again, compared to, say, the revenue that I'm generating,
that's
and
nothing, yes.
and the predictive revenue that I would get in the next few years, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. So I think the problem is that if you get more debts than you could afford.
Service. You
right.
can
So that is where you have a problem.
But let me tell you something. In business, you don't really. Okay, you have your forecast. You have your forecast for the next year, but your forecast is not paved in gold. Anything can happen. So you have to put yourself in a position where anything can happen. You can stand up.
Hence the contingency plan.
So you know what? I do not put expenses on my business. I do not put expenses on myself. I need an appliance. I put money aside, and when I am able to pay for it, I buy that. The other day, somebody came to my store and they was telling me about something I could use in my business for me to roll more efficiently. And I told him, he said, they're giving it for whatever price. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Unless I can't afford to buy cash, I will not be buying it. Because in those kind of times there, you don't want when one friend rich, you don't have money for you to pay the people for their piece of
I agree.
machine.
I totally agree. That's why there should be a recognition of your capability.
And while we're there, and you work in a place like this, one of the things I observe for small businesses is the loan repayment. The loan repayment is, to me, a big disadvantage. A loan is a good idea, but when the interest rate is a lot, it becomes a disadvantage for the business, the entrepreneur, because you have your operating costs consistently having to put back into the business. You have to service that loan, and you have to do them simultaneously, and that becomes a burden on a small business just trying to get off its feet.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I agree. I don't.
Let's take this final caller before we wrap up. Good afternoon. Hot topics are we missed you. All right. Well, that's it for Colts. Go ahead. Talk to us.
No, I don't disagree with her. I'm just saying is that taking a loan, a business loan especially, it's not something that we should be afraid of, because at the end of the day, that's why I think the fear comes from the fact that we don't know a lot about our business. That's why you have to do your analysis.
Yes.
And you cannot do your analysis if you don't have data in the first place. If you don't keep your records. If you don't have a basic study of the market. Say, for example, you're going into, say, the beauty industry, which is, in your study, is around how many millions of dollars, or locally thousands,
just say hundreds of thousands,
something like
maybe,
that.
Yes.
And then you probably would say, okay, I just want to take like 5% of that market. So from there, you could do your analysis, and then you would be able to determine if, okay, can I take a business loan based on my expected revenue?
Yes.
So that's basically how you should. But for me, my point only is that do not be afraid in taking business loans, So in fact, I had a friend. I don't know if it will provide some insight, but a friend of mine one time, and we were in sales. I was doing a real estate property sales. And one time he just said, I'm taking a vehicle, you know, because the vehicle would help me in what we do, you know. But at the same time, you know, I'll be taking it. I'll be doing monthly installment. And I said, you think? So I was like, you think you can afford that? You know, we're just earning in commissions.
Yes.
You know, I would be very afraid. And he tell me, you know what? For me, and that's my friends, you know.
Yes.
So he said that for me, I want to be afraid. He said that.
It'll motivate you.
I want to get up, you know, in every morning and saying, okay, I have to be able to pay this vehicle, or else I'm not
fear can be a major motivating factor.
Well, if your children not a motivating factor, a vehicle shouldn't be.
Well, as they say, different folks
for different strokes for different folks.
Yes,
folks, that is where we wrap it up this afternoon. Don, I know you have a lot more to say to us, but unfortunately we have to.
I agree.
We have to get you back.
We have to go. But we have to have you come back.
But just one thing, you know, adaptability and learnability is very important. In crisis, business owners must be able to adapt, you know, and be able to innovate.
Be able to learn.
Because remember, as an entrepreneur, you should not identify yourself as, oh, I'm a food entrepreneur, I'm a this entrepreneur.
And that's all
you are an entrepreneur, and you're supposed to service whatever needs that's
and it takes us
out
back
there.
to where I mentioned. You have to be able to diversify your business.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, on this note, folks, we leave you. We say we love you. Goodbye. Happy weekend. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Sammy?
Time, Vanessa.
Yes, I know. Say bye. Say bye, Sammy.
Yeah, no, I said
say
bye.
bye-bye.
No, I say bye.
All right, Sammy said bye-bye. We're gone.
You missing out.
Did you love this show? Then call us at 614-3385 to find out ways you can support this program. Thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked to your genuine sound, Kyrie FM. Did you...
We should have a one